Um, Thanks for tuning in. So today what I'm going to be doing is showing you how to deal with some of the issues with Arduino Nano, um, or in this case Arduino Nano clones. With the prices of those devices going up because of the chip shortage, suddenly it actually makes financial sense to try and repair some of them. So what I have on my desk are two of those Arduino Nanos. They both have very similar problem. So let me show you roughly what the problem is. So the first one, although plugged into the computer, it doesn't actually show up. So it should show as a serial port on the computer, but it doesn't show. I've noticed that this LED here, this power LED, is actually quite dim. It's supposed to be much brighter. In fact, let me show you on the other one. So, well, the other one is not actually showing anything. The other one is completely dead. So on this one, it doesn't, the LED doesn't even light up. So both of them seems to have some kind of power issue. So let's maybe start with this guy. And since it's a power issue, I'm just going to bring a multimeter and check what's the power status or what's the power situation. Maybe before I'll do that, actually, in fact, let me try. So this is the ground, and I'm just gonna try. Where is the 5 volt? 5 volt output is here. I need to do it the way that you can see the meter. So this one is showing 2.6 volts, which is definitely not enough. Or it's not really the right voltage. It should be showing 5 volt or just under 5 volt. So this one seems to have under voltage situation. How about this guy? So this guy on the 5 volt rail, it has absolutely nothing. So both of them seem to have some power problem. So what I'm showing you on the screen right now is the actual schematic diagram of this Arduino clone. So in terms of power, when it's plugged into the computer over the USB connection, the device is getting power through this 5 volt power line. There's a diode here that prevents the 5 volt supply going back to the computer. And where we were measuring the power was pretty much between the 5 volt pin on the Arduino, on the Arduino Nano clone, and the ground. So we were kind of measuring at this point. And it was showing, on one of them it was showing 2.6 volts, and the other one was completely off, didn't show any power. So as you can see, the only thing that is preventing the 5 volt from the USB connector reaching the 5 volt rail is this diode here. So this is our suspect at the moment. We, this diode is potentially broken. Well, we have two of those nanos, so we on one of them there's absolutely no power here. The other one could be the diode, could not be the diode, but we'll try to replace the diodes and see. I bought a couple of those diodes on AliExpress as replacements. It was super cheap, I think like $1 or $2 for a batch of 20, so we have plenty to play with. So let's get the soldering iron going and let's try to fix this first Arduino Nano. So we can put away the meter for now. Let me bring you a little bit closer. So where is the diode hiding? The diode that we've been troubleshooting, or the diode that we are looking at right now, is this guy here. And as you can see on this Arduino, and this one is actually the one that was completely dead. On this one, this diode, it pretty much has physical signs of being burned or broken. Okay, so that's on one, and on the other one is here, and we see the diode here as well. But we don't know what's the status of the diode. So let's start maybe with this guy, because we know for sure that this diode is broken. There's obviously many ways to desolder this diode, but I'm just going to snip it out just like that and then clean up afterwards. Okay, so that's gone. We need to make sure that we have the polarity correct later on when we solder the diode. So it has to point the right way. So it has to point towards the chip. So let's remove the actual broken legs, or the legs that are left over on the PCB. Okay, that's one. And that's the other. Okay. Let me get the replacement. Let me get the replacement diode. Okay, so that's our replacement diode. As you can see, they're pretty small. And remember, it needs to go the sort of right way around. Let me just zoom in and have a look if I can see it correct. Yeah, so you see the band on this LED is pointing towards the chip. So we sort of want it this way. Okay, so that's one side done. Let's add a little bit of solder into the other side. Hang on, I didn't realize it's so wonky. I don't like it so wonky. I want it nice and straight. It's a bit better. Should be using a bit of flux to help it out a little bit. Okay, I can clean it up a little after this soldering exercise. But I'm almost sure that it should be much better. So that's our new diode. It is still wonky the way I installed it, but that's fine. That's not gonna stop it from working. So if we now plug it in, voila, as you can see, it's plugged in. And if we go to Device Manager, we should hopefully see a new serial port, which is showing up on COM8. So this Arduino appears to be working. What we can do is try to upload a sketch and see if the upload is successful. Yep, that's all gone fine. Okay, so this one is now repaired. Let's try to do the same trick on the other one and see if it's going to make any difference. So I'm just going to cut out what I believe is the faulty diode. We'll use a bit of we will use a bit of flux to remove the legs of the broken diode. Okay, there's a bit of flux left over there, that's fine. We can actually make it useful for ourselves. So that's my second replacement diode. Let's get some tweezers and check and make sure that we are putting the diode the right way around. Let me zoom in. Yeah, it's facing the correct way. Put a bit of solder. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, not too bad. So now the moment of truth. Is it gonna work? Yeah, I see that the LED is now much brighter. Let's go back to the computer and look at our device manager. Can we see USB to serial port 10? That's definitely new. So we can try and upload the sketch. And as you can see, it works. So we are able to successfully upload the sketch. Okay, so let's have a quick look again on the schematic diagram and try to analyze why are we facing those issues. This design of the Arduino Nano clone is a little bit different than the original Arduino. And what I mean by that is in the original Arduino, they actually have a polyfuse on the line between the USB socket and this diode. And what it means, this polyfuse prevents this diode from burning, or prevents any excessive current from flowing through this diode. The way it is designed in this Arduino Nano clone, obviously this is done for, for financial reasons, to make it as cheap as possible. If you accidentally plug or cross-connect the 5-volt connection with ground on the connector of the Arduino, of this Arduino Nano clone, you are pretty much shorting the 5-volt rail to ground over this diode, and this diode pretty much becomes a fuse, so it just breaks with the excessive current. It burns, and it will either catastrophically burn completely, where it just the whole device doesn't show any signs of life, or it will burn sort of halfway through, like the other example we had, where it was sort of working, it was giving some power, but it was just not giving enough power to actually power the Arduino. So I hope this was useful. It showed you 2 examples of how those Arduinos could be broken, and what you can do, how you can replace those diodes. Thanks for watching, and if you find it interesting, just subscribe. I'll have more of those videos showing more examples of how the Arduino Nano can be broken and what you can do to fix it.